Hi, and welcome along to AFTV Transfer Daily, the show that keeps you up to date with players that have been linked with a summer transfer move to Arsenal. Do remember today, if you're watching this at 2 p.m. UK time, I'm going to be doing a very special interview with Kanu, Arsenal legend Kanu, talking to him all things Arsenal and transfers and Declan Rice, right? Ahead of the big game tonight. And it's going to be in the metaverse. And if you want to get involved, all you've got to do, we're going to put a link in the description. Click that link and join us at 2 p.m. Join us for free. Come in and have a load of fun. Trust me, this is going to be the coolest experience you've ever seen. So make sure you check that out. 2 p.m. UK time today. Me interviewing Kanu in the metaverse. It's brilliant. Now, of course, after that, the big game today. Arsenal over there in Germany, taking on Nuremberg. They did the same thing last year, the same game last year. That was when we got to see Jesus announce himself for Arsenal. Could it be Kai Havertz's time tonight? Really looking forward to that game. We're doing a watch-along here on AFTV as well, so make sure you check that out. Me, Lee Judges, all the gang, Turkish, we're all going to be there, so make sure you check it out for the watch-along. Of course, one player that's not going to be playing tonight is Declan Rice. Still no announcement on Declan Rice, right? This is dragging on and on and on and on. A friend of mine joked to me yesterday and he said, I hope that Declan Rice has signed a long-term contract because by the time they announce him, the contract would have run out. I mean, Arsenal, when it comes to announcing signings, is it me or do they just take ages? I mean, and apparently it's got West Ham a bit upset as well. They're moaning and groaning. Obviously, they want the money in because they want to, move on and get players in to try and replace Declan Rice. My same friend who I was talking to also said, "Oh, serve West Ham right for keeping us waiting so long. Now we can keep them waiting." Listen, it's going to get done. Declan Rice is going to be an Arsenal player. Declan Rice will be over in the US for the US tour, but he won't be there for the game against Nuremberg. So that's a bit unfortunate. But listen, he is going to become an Arsenal player, and that's the most important thing. But who's going to be next? That's what I always seem to say after. That's always the line that I seem to come with. Who's next? It's looking like it could be the Brazilian that I spoke about a couple of days ago called Bitello from Grêmio over there in Brazil. Correio de Pova, publication over there in Brazil, claimed that Arsenal had representatives watching him the other night when they played Grêmio, and also that the representatives are currently discussing with Grêmio sorting out a deal so that Arsenal can then submit a bid to bring him to the Emirates Stadium. That is what they are claiming. They're claiming that Edu is pushing for this deal to go through, and that Bitello, will become an Arsenal player. He's a midfield player. He's like a sort of box-to-box midfielder, but can also play in that sort of more defensive role as well. He's not a young player like sort of when we signed. Listen, 24 is still young, but he's not super young like when we signed Martinelli. But I don't really know nothing about him, if I'm being honest, but I didn't know anything about Martinelli either. And look how he turned out to be. We didn't know about Marquinhos. That was another player that Arsenal brought in last year from Brazilian football. Still very raw, still very young. But this one's a little bit different with Bitello because a little older. So surely if Arsenal are bringing him in, they're kind of bringing him in with the view to be him coming into the first team pretty quickly. So, yeah, let's keep an eye on this one. But Correio, as I said, Correio de Pova reporting that Arsenal, basically their representatives are discussing an offer to sign the box-to-box midfielder, Bitello. Price is probably going to be around about £8.5 million, according to the claims. So we know that Arsenal are on the lookout for a midfielder. He's not really a defensive midfielder. So does this affect the Lavia? We've been told that Arsenal will be interested in Lavia. Does this affect that? Arsenal also apparently still interested in signing Cancelo from Manchester City. Now, Cancelo, was a stalwart at City over the past couple of years until he fell out with Pep Guardiola last season. Went out on loan to Bayern Munich, did all right there, but they decided not to keep him. At that time, the price for him was being quoted at over £60 million. But there's reports that Manchester City may be willing to let him go for around about £35 million. And Arsenal, if it's £35 million, wouldn't be against moving to try and bring Cancelo in. We know that Mikel Arteta appears to be still on the lookout for fullbacks. We've been linked with a host of right backs. Cancelo as well can play both right or left. So he's a very versatile player, excellent player. And as I said, being linked with a move to Arsenal today. Let's see again. You know, this one. What would be really interesting here for me would Manchester City sell another one of their players to Arsenal? Even though we know Pep wants to move Cancelo on, but Jesus, Zinchenko, is he going to give us another player? I mean, the players that he's given us so far have strengthened Arsenal, even though they still ended up winning the league ultimately. Let's wait and see if that one develops up. It's certainly a quality player. We're also, again, being linked today with Gabriel Veiga. Now, the Spanish outlet AS, they claim that his preference for a move is Arsenal. Because he's been linked with Spurs as well. AS saying no, he doesn't want to go to Spurs. He'd rather go to Arsenal. He's awaiting a bid. That's the club he'd like to play for in England. He's also been linked with Manchester City, with Newcastle, PSG. As I said, a quality player. Really had a breakout season last year for Celta Vigo. Really, really talented player. When I see him play, he looks like a Mikel Arteta type player. He really does. But the only thing is, again, the position that he plays in, we're kind of stacked there already. I mean, yeah, he's an exceptional talent, but we've got so much talent in that area already. I mean, Fabio Vieira is really going to have to step up this season, because I guess if Fabio Vieira wasn't there, you'd be looking at maybe bringing a Veiga in. So it's a massive season for Fabio Vieira. Remember, he was signed for around about the same price of £35 million. So I'm not sure if Arsenal will bid for him, but you never know. Arsenal are always on the lookout for exceptional talents, and he's definitely one of them. And Austin Trusty, who was another one of those signings that was signed out of the blue by Arsenal. We've seemed to be very good at doing those ones. Centre-back, 24 now, Austin Trusty, Arsenal player. He's over there in Nuremberg. Could play today. He hasn't played a minute yet for the Arsenal first team since he signed, because he went straight out on loan to Birmingham, but he was excellent for Birmingham. I remember speaking to some Birmingham City fans who were saying, listen, can we keep him? He's excellent. He won their player of the season. And now there's a host of clubs in the Championship that won him. Ipswich are said to be one of them. Are Arsenal going to take him back? It looks like Arsenal are willing to cash in on Austin Trusty, a player that they've only had for a season. That's because obviously, you know, they're kind of, again, stacked in the centre-back position now that they brought in Jurrien Timber. So Trusty could be on the way out. I don't know, or is it another loan that Arsenal should do for Austin Trusty, or is he just not going to get into the team? Certainly, you can't ask for anything more than a player comes over to the Premier League, gets sent out on loan, and he gets player of the season. You cannot ask for anything more than that. And I almost feel like I'd love to see him playing for Arsenal in an Arsenal shirt and see what he's made of after what he's done. But it could be that he could be on his way out. So let's see. Arsenal won about £8 to £9 million for him. About £10 million for him. He's valued at around about £10 million for him. So Arsenal going to want the minimum of that, probably even more. But some Championship clubs are interested in him at the moment. Maybe some Premier League clubs might come in for him as well. We know that Arsenal are looking at players going out as well with the amount of money that they've already spent. So let's see how that one pans out. Listen, thanks for watching the show today. As I said, don't forget 2 p.m. me and Kanu in the metaverse. Click the link in the description and come and join us. And also the big one tonight, Arsenal's first friendly of the new season, playing over there in Germany, Nuremberg. Arsenal. Check us out on the watch along later on. It's going to be epic. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow.
Shop for AFTV merch at shop.aftv.co.uk. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Snapchat, and Twitch. We've got content for every platform, so check it out.